We're getting more knocks coming back at us. He's tapping right now. Okay, so far we done had probably about 5 to 7 minutes of back and forth. And we're in this holler here. All the way around like that.
Went over the ridge.
Apparently went over the ridge that way. Okay.
The last set of knocks was 3 knots.
Huh?
The last set of knocks, 3 knots.
Last
But
set
it was on the opposite side of the ridge. They were repeated.
Okay. So we're going the opposite direction. Okay, now. Wait a minute. Repeat that again.
There were 2 sets of knocks. One over here, and the other was kind of bracketing us. The ones on this one were a higher pitch, so that was a smaller tree. The ones deeper up this ravine were deeper knocks. They were knocking on a bigger tree.
Yeah.
So it sounded, if I had to guess, and I don't.
They're communicating.
I would say, no, they weren't. They were communicating with us.
Yeah.
Because they were, when we knocked twice, they knocked twice.
Right.
One time we knocked 3 times. You knocked 3 times, they knocked twice. You knocked twice, they knocked 3 times.
That's about the way it was.
I just hope you came and picked it up.
That's what I'm trying to figure out here now. Let me see.
Well, I repeated the knocks a couple times on there.
All right, hold on, folks. Maybe start looking and talking.
Whoa, I had some movement. Let's get our perspective back here. In the center of the field of view is what I saw. Because the light's changing, so is it. Whatever it is, it's steady, it's not moving. See right in the center there. That's something on a tree, on a branch.
I'm watching the rock.
Because the trees are actually, that's actually above those trees that are laying.
I see something brown.
Yeah, I see it
kind
too.
of right on top of that one tree.
Mm-hmm.
The top of one. Looks kind of an auburn color.
There you go.
See what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I'm going to take this down and I'm going to make my way up there. Alright. Let me have your stick.
Nice, you got right on it, right? Huh?
I ain't heard nothing yet.
I mean, you got the picture up on it, right?
Huh?
You got this up there?
Yeah, I'm going right up. I'm going over those, that crushed saddle.
Okay.
I'm going right up that way.
All right. All right. Okay, James can go up there.
If the trail does come down, I got another buck print up here.
Okay, situation. All right. We heard 2 or 3 knocks, and I'm hoping that we got them on tape, on video.
Remember where this spot's at right here?
Yeah. And we got we started a knocking contest. I do 3, it would do 2. I would do 2, it would do 3. It'd be back and forth like about 2, 3 or 4 minutes, then it'd stop. And then it would do it again and stop. So right now, I'm sitting back here and film. And James is working his way up there. He's got some Indian in him. He was taught to track as a youngster out west where he was growed up at. So he's walking up there to where we supposedly saw that thing, or we heard it. And we know there were 3 Bigfoots through this area right here within the last 4 or 5 hours.
Something's been coming down and grabbing this grapevine.
All right, something where he's standing at, there's a grapevine. Something's been coming down and grabbing it. Let me zoom in a little bit. Maybe that thing ain't doing right.
Turn it off.
All right, hold on a minute. Okay. Now we're recording. He's going to reach here. Like I said, we're following the knocks, Bigfoot knocks. And we've got signs. There's been 3. 3 of them. I got them on video here. There's the dimensions of the size of the foot and the toes and everything. Something digging in here. See where something's digging. Right here. Okay. Okay, what you got?
Put your hand right there.
Put my hand
Right there.
Okay. Footprint.
Yeah, but look. Big toe, middle toe,
Yeah.
little pinky toe. Jesus Christ.
That's a big motherfucker.
And it's going straight up this hill. That's destroyed.
Yeah.
This is that grapevine.
Okay.
Look at the grab mark down higher than that.
All right. Let me go around here. Right here? Okay. This here has been shredded, ripped up.
No, look. Here, let me give you a little perspective.
Yeah.
You're walking down a hill. Alright.
Okay, he's walking down here, that's where he grabs. Okay, so we're talking.
Back up so you can get me in the...
Okay. Okay, now we're looking. Let me back up a little bit more. Get a good perspective on this. Okay. I am 5'9", 5'10". James is about what, 5'7"? About 5'8". And as you can see, that's where the handprint is. Okay. Coming down. Okay, go back.
This is destroyed.
That piece right there has been destroyed.
Footprints coming up, around. Whatever it was stepped on this, skinned off bark underneath it.
Yeah.
This, some actually was coming uphill.
All right, so, okay,
Something came right through there where you're walking.
okay.
Tried to go up that way, left this footprint and couldn't get up that way. Decided not to go up that way.
Right.
You've got the imprints right here and right here from the toes.
Okay. Toe prints. 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 is on the rock. 5 is where your finger's at.
5's going. Okay, right here.
No, this is where the other one is.
Oh, right here.
Yep.
Okay, so 1, 2,
3 is right beside it.
right here.
4 will be on it. 5 is right here.
Okay,
Right
clear
there.
toes. 1, 2. Good God, man, that's a big one. Yeah.
6-inch span
6-inch
on
span.
the toes, going uphill.
Okay.
But look right here. Whatever it was, stepped on this. Oh, wait, whoa. Back up.
I lost my balance. Okay.
Whatever it was, stepped on this. Hard enough to skin it.
And broke it right there.
No, it's wrapped.
Oh, it's wrapped. Oh, hell yeah. It is.
See right here. And it drug the grapevine with it.
Yeah.
This grapevine was attached. Fresh break.
Look at fresh break.
Look, fresh break right here.
Right where?
Right here at the tip.
Okay,
fresh break.
there.
This was wrapped around with that. This whole branch.
Okay.
I'm gonna unwrap this branch.
Okay.
Wait a minute. No,
Wait.
because
All right, right there's a piece of the break.
pay attention to this.
Okay.
Watch me unwrap it.
All right, just unwrapping it. Head down. Okay.
This thing is recently stripped off. Find this tree. This whole thing was drugged down from here. That's where all that came from. This was drugged down from up here.
Yeah, this limb right here
Yeah.
was right.
That tree.
There's a broke right there.
That's that tree.
Yeah, and that
Look,
tree is
all
right.
this is up underneath it.
Yeah.
Look. Look how fresh that is.
Yeah.
It's still green.
All right, so we're talking about 4 or 5 hours ago.
This whole thing, but look, this is brought down. This is old grapevine.
Yeah.
All of this. This is that whole tree. Something's still being
Okay.
for that whole tree.
All right, let me get back here. Okay, what he's holding in his hand. Okay, James, you explain.
I'm reconstructing this tree where it's done. It's stripped it, completely stripped it off. This tree was right here. Whatever it was coming down. It went up. Remember, it slipped right there
Yeah, it slipped right there.
and tore this tree down. Trying to get up. Use this tree to pull itself up.
That's it.
Grabbed onto that tree.
Yeah, because
Down.
look at the slide, look at the crush marks on that.
Right here.
Yeah, look at that.
That's the whole tree.
Yeah, look at that bark
This
right
was
there.
picked up, thrown out of the way.
Okay, so we had
Came
a.
from higher down. Came from right there.
I'm thinking there was a family of them.
Look. That tree right here, this is the broke end. This tree was full.
Yeah, I can see.
Fresh break.
That's good.
Came from right here. Some came up and got pissed off because it couldn't get up the hill easy.
All right, we're talking about 3 right now, 3 Bigfoots. All right, there's an ass spot right there. See where the rock
got
is?
another one down there where I told you, remember that spot? There's another
Yeah.
one right there.
Yeah, it's high.
I'm looking for where that tree came from.
That tree. Okay. Look at that. See that little tree right there?
Came
see,
right here.
See that log going up?
Mhm.
See that break right there?
Yeah, but that's not.
Okay.
But that piece right here is
Hey.
part of that tree.
That piece right there's broken.
That's part of that tree.
Yeah.
Look, right behind you. There's another piece.
Yeah.
That tree was completely tossed and
Right.
turned. Bounced through here. Took some of that down.
Piece of it. Right here's an ass cheek.
Right here is part of that bark.
Yeah.
Thrown from up here.
Yeah. That right there's broken.
Here's more of it.
Yeah. See right here?
Yeah, but that's just the break. Here's the covering. That's where they were going uphill to it. No, that's not even that.
No.
Juvenile.
Yep. Juvenile. I smell something musky. We smell something musky. Okay, they're watching us. They're here. They are here with us right now.
Alright, well, wait here. Let me get a little bit higher up.
Okay. All right, there's a break right there.
Yeah, they're coming through this way.
Right, okay.
But I'm not standing their tracks. I'm going up here. There's a reason I'm staying away from this.
All right. Right to here. Right through here. Here's a fresh break right here. Fresh break right here. Joey, oh, yeah, it's been there. Apparently they're coming from up there and down over here at the same time.
Remember we heard that metal?
Yeah,
Found it
I see it.
right here.
We heard metal tapping. We walk around this tree. All right.
Under that,
Yeah, because right here, they're coming around. There's something coming around this way here.
the right.
Yeah, they're coming in from that way and your way.
Right up around that big tree.
Coming around this big tree.
Right up here, there's step.
Okay, folks, those Bigfoots are right here with us, but they're up on them. But they're up in them rocks somewhere. Right up in there. Right up in there. You're watching. Okay, I got footprints right here.
That's the steps. Come right up ahead.
Yeah, I got steps right there. Right there. He's sliding right here. There's a footprint right here. Right there.
Just left out. That's the one that went up that side.
Hey, bed right here. You can see where they laid right here. The head was against that, and everything's coming down here because,
We're in a living room.
yeah, because this right here, this leaves right here has been built up. Something's been laying right in here. Oh God, let me find a hair.
Yeah, but this is where they just were. Look.
All right, they were just here a few minutes ago when we heard that knocking. Because I tell you what, fresh limbs right there. Right here. Look at that. Fresh bricks. Fresh bricks. They were just here. They shot over.
Where they were knocking.
Huh?
This is where they were knocking.
Okay. Folks, let me show y'all show you something here. Okay. You go down that way. About right there is where our stuff is. Okay, we're about what? 80 yards? 80 to 100 yards?
You can see it good from right here.
Okay.
Just right here in this spot, you can see the rock where we were leaning. That's the rock right there.
Right there.
Behind that big tree.
Yeah.
Just over, right behind that.
Okay.
Look right here. Look at the color difference.
Yeah.
This is where they were knocking.
Yeah. Okay, folks.
And that was a young one, because you got the young one crawled up underneath here.
Yeah.
And you can see where it crawled. And
Okay.
Took off bark from underneath here.
Right there is where we was. Right there is where we were. Shit. Right there is where we were sitting. All right, we're about 150 yards up the ridge here. Okay, we're looking. This is the log that they were beating on, and there's a piece of metal right there they were tapping on. And where's that stick at? Okay. No, I was looking at something else. All right, look at this here.
I thought so too, but it's not. Whatever they took with them. Whatever they were knocking with.
All right, they had to go up,
Yeah, that's exactly
and
it.
I'm thinking they went up right through here. Look, right
I
through.
know.
They went right up through there, either up that
The
way,
young one went down here. You can look right here underneath and see where it crawled.
and where it slid.
It just crawled under. Was dragging its knee when it crawled.
Okay. All right.
Went right up there.
Yeah. There's a bed right there.
No, that's a highway.
I think you see it flat right there. All right.
Yeah,
It goes up.
They walk over. This is like a living room.
Okay.
Because this is where they were knocking. Look at that piece of metal right there. See that piece of metal?
Yeah.
Look. See how all that's rusted and this is brown?
Yeah.
Watch. That's where it was. They were knocking on that. Remember we heard that metal?
Yeah. That's it. That's what we heard. Okay, so they was here with us. They was watching us from the time
They bailed when we started coming up.
Yeah, they bailed. So
It's another piece of metal. That one's bent
yeah,
recently.
that piece right there.
Right up there at the top. Those are those two trees.
Right. That's what I was looking
That's
at.
where I saw something. So whatever we saw was making us go that way. Went across the ridge there.
And went down the back of the other side.
Yeah.
Okay, so they was here.
Look right there. Up around that tree. See it dip down where something's
Yeah.
making that pathway and you got to
Yeah.
slide.
It looks like a little cave right there.
And that looks like a bed right there where they lay.
Folks, we're in the bedding area. Okay, recap. We come up from, where am I at? From right there. We started getting knocks down there. We used our way up here, and we're now in the bedding area. They had just left. They wasn't here no more than 10 minutes ago. They was watching us the whole time we was here. So we're working our way up towards the top of the ridge and everything. That was the metal they was tapping on. We heard metal hit, but they were tapping on that. And they had a young one with them. So I'm thinking it was a family of 3 or 4. That goes on the furnace. Fresh breaks.